Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Tonight is a special edition of EnCryptid Connections. So welcome. I didn't plan on doing this until I got I was able to do a screening of the new documentary film from Bigfoot Beyond the Trail, the Small Town Monsters team. Alexander Petikoff, Eli, and Seth. They made a new film. It comes out on the 24th, and they gave me the opportunity to screen it along with some other people, so I could do a review. And so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to talk about some other stuff that's going on. So first of all, let me say hello to everybody who's here. Let's see. Hi, Janelle. Hey, Jennifer. Lynn, thank you for being here. I saw Cash posted that she has no internet. This is not acceptable. This is a sin. This is one of the 7 deadly sins. It replaced murder. This is terrible that there's no cashew here. It's not acceptable, and I don't believe it's true. I think it's a conspiracy. Hey, Salty, howdy. Thanks for being here. He sounds like a pilot. I sound like a pilot. Oh, and it starts. Please be sure to put your seats in the upright position and buckle your seatbelts. Turn your cell phones off while we take off. Once we get in the air and we hit our designated flight altitude, you can turn your cell phones back on. There will be drinks served, and there is no dinner, as this is a short 2-hour flight. Hopefully we land safe. How's that? Pretty good? So, the film. Let me talk about it. I am no Siskel and Ebert. I do not know how to critique film the proper way, but all I can tell you right now, yes, everyone send your prayers and positive vibes so Cashew's internet may be restored expeditiously. Absolutely. Please send them. Please send them. What's going on, brother? What's going on, Long Island? So the film, like I said, I'm not Siskel and Ebert. I don't know how to critique films professionally, but what I can tell you is I've watched a ton of Sasquatch documentaries, and I was only allowed to watch part 1. It's awesome. It really is. It's awesome. I don't even know what else to say. It's so good. I've watched every one of their documentary films, everyone. I've not missed one. I really enjoy what they do. I like the fact that they do not ever try to portray things as evidence that they're not sure of. They do not sensationalize one bit. If they film for 5 days and they get nothing, then that's what you get in the film. To be completely honest with you, I respect it. It's still great to watch because you still get so much info from guys like Alex, and then the other guys that they have on with them, because it kind of changes from picture to picture. They do have some steady folks who are regulars, but some of them change. But Alex is he's just incredible. The guy has such a memory for all this stuff. Anything that happens, encounters from years ago, he just remembers it all. He's a wealth of information and knowledge on the subject, and so all of their films, you get that no matter what. This one, you're getting that. You're getting accounts from the people who live at this cabin in the Kenai Peninsula in Alaska, and the cabin, it has a name. They call it the Alaska Cabin. I know it's not like a crazy name, right? It's in Alaska, it's a cabin, but they've given it this name because of the amount of stuff that has reportedly gone on here. The owner of the cabin had written them an email and asked them to come check it out if they were ever in the area, and they made sure that they got to the area so they could check it out, because he said, come check it out. You can speak with me or 20 or 30 other people who've been here and witnessed some of this stuff. The filming, the cinematography of this film was done wonderfully, between the drone shots and the cuts. It was put together really well. The music in the film is great. It's for every scene. It sets the mood just perfectly. It's one of those films that the whole time you're really kind of on the edge of your seat waiting for what's going to happen next. I'm with you, Janelle. Alaska has so many crazy stories. JD, how you doing? No, Nielzy, this is a different cabin altogether. This one has its own history, but I promise you it's comparable to that cabin. Well, excuse me. That cabin that Meldrum went to had a lot of history going back even further, because it's been there for a really long time, and people had used it quite often over the years. And there, it was attacked and whatnot with rocks, and they tried to like bang into it or whatever. But this is, I promise you, this is really, really, really good. Tons of witnesses, 20 to 30 different witnesses just from the new owner alone. I don't know about previous owners. I don't want to tell you. Question. It's an investigation type documentary, but they produce it well, like a movie. So yes, it's an investigation type documentary. It is. The production's great. It is. It's just great. The cinematography is wonderful. The cutscenes are wonderful. The B-roll is good. Hey Kathleen, how you doing? It's just so put together so well, and they set the scene so perfectly that like each time you're left like wanting more, and then you get it, and then you want more, and then you get it. It's they they make it like they make it like there's a question asked, and then it's kind of this pause, and then you get part of the answer, if that makes sense. But again, you know, between Alex and the crew, these guys have so much knowledge, and you hear about different things that have gone on this island over the years, or on at the Kenai Peninsula and at this cabin over the years. It's a super remote area. I mean, super remote. Just to get from one place to another, that are, you know, that are in Alaska terms close by, you're talking 2-hour boat rides, getting dropped off on a beach, and then, you know, hoofing it through the woods. It's crazy. It's literally, I don't know if you guys ever watched Les Stroud's Bigfoot series that he did. Well, prior to filming that Bigfoot series, what really nudged him into doing that were two different things. The first one has nothing to do with this, but the second one, actually, no, the first thing that happened was the one that has to do with this film. Very first thing that happened to him that made him start to think about doing that documentary was he was filming Survivor Man, just regular Survivor Man, and he was out in the Kenai Peninsula in the woods. He was on a beach, and he heard from the wood line that was, you know, I think 50 or 60 yards, 70 yards away from him. He heard from the wood line at night what sounded like something on 2 feet, stomping heavily, beating on its chest, and making noises like a gorilla. And then it bluff charged him a couple times. The man who was contracted to bring Wes to that island and then pick him up, the boat captain, was also in this documentary. And he said when he picked Les up, he was scared. And he started asking him questions, and the boat captain had said to him, "Oh, you mean like Sasquatch?" And Les said at that moment, "Yeah, I guess I do mean Sasquatch." And so that was one of the things that happened that pushed Les to do the Survivor Man Bigfoot series. These areas out here in the Kenai Peninsula have a long history of Sasquatch activity going back many, many, many years. Many years. The local people, you know, are so used to it that it just gets, when it gets talked about in such a matter-of-fact way that it's like, you know, no big deal. It's really incredible. But so there's everything that you could want from a documentary, investigation style documentary about this topic, you're gonna get. And I only got to watch part 1. Assuming part 2 is just as good, if not better. It may even wrap up a few things that part 1 leaves you hanging with, which I hate at the end when you're left hanging with certain things. But I get why. It's because they want you to have that that feeling of, you know, wanting more to go into the next one. And they did. They really did. They really did a great job on this. I think they've got themselves a real great film here. And I was really happy to be able to watch it. I watched it 3 times. If that tells you anything. Watched it 3 times. Each time it was just as entertaining. You know, the crew in the film, Eli, I love Eli. Man, I really do. I think that dude's awesome. I'd love to have Eli on the show, actually. I think he'd be a really fun guest. And like I said, Alex is just such a great guy. He's coming on next week. We're going to talk to him about this about this film and about a whole bunch of other stuff. Just a wealth of knowledge and information. I mean, I bet you could ask that guy, you know, were there any encounters in Sandusky, Ohio in the 1940s? And he'd have something for you. I promise you. But yeah, here we go. Look at Long Island stepping up. What a guy. What a guy, man. Small Town Monsters premiere. Here we go. Upcoming the 24th. The Alaskan Coastal Sasquatch. Those guys are great. Seth Breedlove does wonderful stuff. He even was just a producer director, and then once he got out in the field, it made him want to get out in the field a lot more, and he does much more of that now. So let me go back and say hello to the people I've missed so far. Sharon, how you doing? Old Spirit, welcome. Nielsy, Kathleen, thank you for being here. JD, thank you for being here. Megan, thank you for being here. And down here at the bottom, Sandra just got here. Thank you for stopping by, Sandra. I appreciate you guys. I always do. Cans, thank you for being here. Papa C. Cans, did you catch that? Did you catch the spot? And hey, Dave, what's going on, brother? Welcome. Cans, did you happen to catch the spot in the intro, the new intro video? Did you happen to catch that little bit in there? I don't want to tell you what it is if you haven't caught on to it yet. But there's a little spot in that video that I think you may like. So great movie. Definitely watch it on the 24th if you have the opportunity to. If not, go back and watch it when you can. It's so worth it. It's about an hour and a half, I think, right around there. I've watched everything. I've watched every documentary there's ever been on Bigfoot, I swear. And there's some that I go back and watch over and over again. I love watching Les. Yeah, check it out, Cans. There's a little spot in there that if you think real hard and look at it, maybe you'll get it. Maybe you won't. I expect good things from you. I mean, your Cans. It's I love Les's documentary. I thought that was great. I sometimes wish I know how to make stuff like that because it would reach more people. Well, here's the thing, Long Island, right? So those guys have a total, they have a full film crew, a full editing process where they have different people to help edit, right? Professionals, professional photographers and all that stuff, man. That's crazy. That's a lot of stuff, dude. That's because of Seth Breedlove has his company, Small Town Monsters, is a full-blown production company, media company. Nothing like having an encounter to get a person watching documentaries obsessively. Yeah. Yep. That's true. I think it's possible, though, because, Carrie and Mark had started doing it a lot of the stuff they filmed was just Carrie, Mark, and Melanie, so it's definitely possible. But you have to have a few people. So you're getting different angles and different perspectives and all that stuff. I think, you can do it. I'm hoping that what I'm about to talk to you guys about is going to turn into possibly the first documentary for this channel. Hey, what's going on? North Carolina Cryptid and Paranormal Project, NCCPP. Welcome. So go watch the film. It's worth it. Those guys are great. They're wonderful guys. Like I said, Alex will be on the 30th. Go support them. They deserve it. I have nothing but good things to say about those guys. Alex is such a nice guy, such a gentleman. He's been doing this a long time. He is incredibly intelligent and a wealth of knowledge and about this subject. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm telling you, he can remember things that most of us will never, ever remember. So what I wanted to talk to you about, though, beyond the film, I've been in contact with this family. I can't tell you anything personal. They want to remain completely anonymous, which to me is a good sign. Usually, when they're not looking for anything other than just some help. They don't want to be known. They don't want their names out there. They don't want their address shared. They don't want any of that. So I'm going to keep it to this. Their family, mother, father, and adult daughter live in the house together. They live near a very, very rural wooded area where the woods stretch for a very long time, for miles and miles, right? And their backyard, their whole property is surrounded by woods. They have a decent amount of land, but then behind them and on all sides is all woods. It's state forest land. Starting back when, I forget exactly what year it was now, but it was quite a while ago, when the daughter was like a teenager or preteen is when all this started. She's now grown. I forget how old she is. I don't even remember if I asked that question, but she's grown, an adult. This all started back when she was younger, teenager or whatever. They didn't know what it was at first. They had no idea. It took them a long time to figure out what it possibly could be. They started looking things up that they were having happen on the property. They were Googling, this, that, and the other. They started asking people like, hey, you ever experienced this or had this happen or blah, 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 blah. Then they were directed to try maybe some Facebook groups. And then in one of the Facebook groups, they found, what they were looking for, apparently. And to me, this is like, this could be the gold mine. This is the thing that I've been waiting for. I've been waiting to find somebody who's had ongoing activity on their property for, a minimum of 6 months. And this goes back much longer than that. So some of the first things that started happening years ago were things would hit the house in the middle of the night. There's no trees that hang over their house at all. None. So there's nothing falling off the tree hitting the house. Whatever was hitting the house was hitting it with a decent amount of force, to the point that some of the plastic siding was damaged. Then they started having rocks tossed at them when they were in their yard. One point they had a cookout and it was in their screened in gazebo, and they had the grill and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. And the next morning, the grill was tipped over, and it looked like something was messing with the grates in the grill, like it was trying to get the gristle and stuff off that hadn't been cleaned off. Let me see. We were cruising past Port Chatham in 1982 when I asked why it wasn't Southeast Alaska. I was told those. We were cruising past Port Chatham in 1992 when I asked why it wasn't in Southeast Alaska. I was told the whole story. I'm confused. Why what wasn't in Southeast Alaska? Why Port Chatham wasn't? I'm confused. What window? My window? Don't say that. Did you really? I'm waiting for the response. A shape in the wind. Really? All right. So that's really weird because that's what Robin had said. That she, before we ever did any of this, we didn't do this at all. She'd said that all she could see was my back to a set of windows, and then that's where the thing would watch from. But it must be one of those like dimensional things because I don't live near any woods, so must just come through and pop up and pop out. But that if it is, I'll tell you this right now. That would have to put whatever it is at about 9 feet tall. And because that window, the driveway goes by that window and it slopes down to where the basement foundation is fully above ground. Well, not fully, but a lot of it's above ground there. So yeah, that puts that window, if anything was to look in it, at about 9 feet, pretty high. So yeah, this family, rocks thrown at them, rocks thrown at the house, acorns tossed at dad, feeling like they're being watched, like a very, very, very strong feeling of being watched. They've had the smell. They described it as like a sweet smell, like sweet, gross smell mixed with like wet dog. They've had muddy prints on their porch or deck. But again, this was prior to them ever knowing anything about this topic, so they weren't documenting that evidence then. They ended up documenting some of it down the line once they figured out, what this possibly could be. And some of it looks really promising. But beyond that, because, people who aren't experienced in this stuff don't know how to document really well and don't know what to document, what's the most important. Whereas like people who've been doing it for a little while, you understand what the most important parts are. So if there's tracks, that's it. You document those. No, neighbors are far away, man. They are separated by quite a lot of land and woods between them. It's a long ways. There's I don't think they've talked to their neighbors because they don't want anyone to know. They don't want people to think they're crazy, but the dad, who's like doesn't scare very easy, this is what the mother said. His wife said he doesn't scare very easy. And one night when he went outside, he was getting ready to leave to go to work or something, or in the early morning, and he heard a rustling noise and then what sounded like just 2 heavy footsteps. That was it, just 2. And then those stopped, but he heard them and felt them in the ground, and it freaked him out so bad that he hopped in the truck as fast as he could and took off, and then called and told them, do not leave the house, whatever you do. But it freaked him out wicked bad. Like I said, he's had acorns tossed at him. There's no acorn trees anywhere around. They would find piles of acorns from where they were being tossed to where they were being tossed to. Something running up and tapping on the windows at night in the middle of the night, and then running away. They could feel and hear the footsteps. It sounds bipedal. Eye shine. I mean, it's got everything. And, they initially felt really freaked out. And now over the course of time, they don't feel freaked out. They don't feel threatened. They're not worried about it too much, but they just want to know a little bit more. Like, are they safe? And I told them, listen, if you've been dealing with this for this many years, like, if there was some kind of danger, you would know by now. And, nothing's happened. It's been dangerous. No animals, no pets. No, I asked that too. No, they don't have any. But they, like I said, something was going into the grill after they cooked, and it had to go inside the screened-in gazebo, which meant it had to unzip the gazebo. Raccoons don't do that. The skunks don't do that. And I highly doubt it would be any kind of straggling person, because where they're located is very remote. And to get onto their land, just a long driveway and surrounded by all woods. It just, seems weird. How long have they lived there when it began? How long have they lived there when it began? It was pretty shortly after they moved in that it all started, within a few years. And it's been consistent ever since. It did slow down just recently because on that road, there had been a few more houses built. Again, their neighbors are still scattered apart by quite a bit of space, but there had been a few more houses built. And they think that that's why the activity had slowed down just a little bit. It's still happening on a regular basis, though. Don't get me wrong. They had just the other day. They had. Oh man, what was it that happened? Oh, I forget. I forget what it was just the other day. I think something knocking on the window again at night. The daughter, yes, they have tried to deter them with lights and camera, both trail cam lights. Doesn't seem to do the trick. They've left stuff for them on the porch. They believe a leaf with a feather was placed like perfectly on the porch by the door, I believe is what they said. And something else too. But the daughter had said to me, I feel like they've watched me forever. I feel like they know my schedule. And I told her that she's probably right. I mean, they were there and they're living in the woods, and they can watch you from afar without you knowing that they're there. Or even if you know they're there, you can't see them and you're not going to stop them. So for whatever reason, they like to watch this family, and they like to mess with them, because they do. They mess around. The mom even said she felt like a lot of the stuff they did was just kind of practical jokey. It was stuff that was pretty innocuous and nothing aggressive. Stuff that kind of would make you chuckle here and there. Sometimes they felt like at times they were playing ding dong ditch in their own way, where they run up, tap on a window, and then run off into the woods. But they were like, you heard the footsteps coming and you heard them going. They were heavy and they were loud, and you could feel it. But they also said, whoa, like, also very fast. Had to cover a lot of ground to get from the wood line to the house and then back to the wood line, and they did it pretty easily, apparently. Yeah, Juvie's playing. That was my first thought, juveniles, but who knows? Oh, sorry. Sorry, boring myself. I'm not boring you. But they found a footprint just recently. Yeah, I believe that that's the whole thing too. Is that they like them. They like this family for whatever reason. Obviously, if they didn't, then I don't think they'd spend so much time doing these things, messing with them, playing around, watching them. I said it to the daughter. I said, you're like their Netflix. Like you are what they watch when they want entertainment. And of course, they're going to know your schedule. If they are around, as often as you say they are, and probably more often than they even know, they they know way more than you think. The first thing they're gonna know is when you're coming and going, and that was why the dad would say, like, when he would get ready to leave the house, or when the daughter would get ready to leave the house to go to work, they always felt like they were being watched, but like not just that, like kind of weird, like sometimes you get yourself freaked out. No, like they said, this was like a heavy, heavy feeling, that they got, that they felt like something was there, and it was watching every move they made. So it sounds good. It seems like it's promising. I'm hoping it is. I'm going to do exactly watch Human Child, and they would definitely know the schedule of the whole household. Sorry, let me go back and check some of these. Beep, 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 beep. Don't get run down. You'll catch a cold. Take care of yourself. No, I'm okay, man. Thank you, Cans. I'm okay. I am okay. I'm not going to be on too long tonight. Fresh, what's going on? Bigfoot Lake. Hey, buddy. I missed you earlier. I didn't know you were here. Let's see. Janelle says I do sound tired. Yeah, I'm tired. I am. That was the other thing, man. The thing with the cat. It's got me so stressed out. I feel so bad. Lots of regular flu going on around here. Yeah, the flu can kiss my ass. I'm just kidding. I still haven't gotten my flu shot. Knock on wood. I need to. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. My niece and both of my nephews were sick. My brother's now sick. Potentially COVID, except he won't go get anyone tested anymore because they've had it so many times that he's just like over it. They get it, they're sick for a few days, and then they're fine. That's how it works with them. I guess they're lucky in that respect. The flu has to get a Chuck Norris shot. Yeah, it does. And Chuck Norris has to get an Alexander Petikoff shot, because Alexander Petikoff can take Chuck Norris out one swift breath. Don't do that, you'll get it faux show. Faux show. I'm getting that faux show. What movie was that from? Does anyone remember that line? Faux show. I'll be getting that faux show. Except he doesn't say getting that, I think. He says hitting that. One of the best comedy movies of the last 20 years. One-liners for days. One of my favorite movies ever. That's a little trivia for you. I'll be getting that faux show. Anyone can answer me what movie that's from. You get bonus points. How is your mojo? My mojo? Like Austin Powers mojo? My mojo's okay. It's not too bad, I guess. Man, I'm in a little pain though. My ankles are just terrible, especially that right ankle. It's just rough. It's rough, man. It just does not hold up anymore. That hike up to the top of Devil's Hopyard to the Vista. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, super bad. Nielsy, you win. Yes. How great was that movie? That movie was wonderful. Such a great movie. That's right up there for me with Step Brothers and Anchorman. Those three movies are just like three of my absolute favorites. They're great. I know cans. I have to. I know. I just keep like trying and hoping that it'll like strengthen, but it has nothing to do with the muscle at this point. It's the fact that like the tendons and ligaments are just shot. They're just gone. They're not there. They're shredded, and you can. I mean, the pain that I feel back on both sides of my like Achilles, by the joint in the front of the ankle. It's bad. McLovin's the best. Yeah, McLovin's awesome. It's just a great movie. It's just you're not used to the old miles now, big dog. You will get it back. Put the input in, and it will strengthen. Yeah, I'm hoping so. I do got to put those stupid things on though, because it's just too tough, especially on like these rocky trails. Man, that traverse down that thing, when I got to the top, my phone died. That was why the live cut off the other day. And then I ended up going back down a different path because the gentleman said, hey, you can go back the way you came, or you can come back this way, following the path that you've been following around, and it'll bring you down. And he was like, it's quicker. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. What he failed to mention was that this path was like American Ninja Warrior. What's going on, man? Bigfoot Anon, thank you for stopping by, man. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Means a lot, really does. Bigfoot Anon is an OG in this world. If you don't know who Bigfoot Anon is, please go sub. I don't know him personally. We have not met yet, although I would love to have Connor on the show. That would be wonderful. So I'm putting him on the spot again. He's got a great channel. Go follow him. Great channel. I've been subbed for a while. Sunday night, Kyle, crazy eye shine in a brand new location site, going back and do some measures, glowing bright orange. Oh, that sounds promising. Nice, fresh. Very nice. Hey, Chuck Norris. Hey, Chuck Norris, fix the button, Bigfoot leg. Bigfoot leg, I spanked the dickens out of it earlier. Boy. Chuck Norris never calls the wrong number. You answer the wrong phone. Oh, God. Well, who's cool to talk to? Chuck Norris? I'm sure he's cool to talk to. He's Chuck Norris. Good God. Chuck Norris, the man, the myth, the myth. Sorry, I'm just reading some of these. This is good. So yeah, that sounds very promising. I did the Devil's Hopyard. Let me tell you about that too. Pulling in there, I had not been to this place in a very long time, and I didn't remember a whole lot about it. When I was pulling down the road to get into the actual park, and I'm looking around, I'm thinking to myself, holy cow, why have I not come here? It looked like it looked like the Pacific Northwest. It did. These giant old pines and cedars. It was just mossy ground and rocks everywhere. It really was something that I hadn't seen a lot of in this area as far as the forest goes. Thank you very much, Lanny. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. That's always, it's always very encouraging when you guys say those things, because like I'm just a dude who's on here doing some goofy stuff on a goofy topic to most people, but I enjoy it, and you guys make it so much better. So I'm driving in and I'm looking around going, holy shit, this is crazy. I can't believe I haven't been here. I mean, it was just like giant trees, moss covered ground, mossy rocks everywhere, giant cliffs, huge elevation changes, water and streams running down both sides of the mountain, different places, to this big wide running brook. It was perfect. I'm thinking to myself, man, if it's going to be anywhere, it's here. And I got there and I walked around. I did a little, quick recon around like the sides of the road in certain places. And then I got on the hiking trail and just decided I was going to hike all the way up to the top of a certain spot. And I was going to look on the way up. I was going to, go off trail and look for some stuff. I can tell you one thing. It was the quietest forest I've been in. The absolute quietest. I did not hear, I didn't hear a bird forever. And then when I did, it was, Connecticut. It's called Devil's Hopyard. When I did hear a bird, it was this little woodpecker, and it was a little bit ahead of me, and it immediately went right back into its hole, and then that was it. I didn't hear it again. So that was weird. I was not hearing anything out there. But I didn't see anything. I saw no signs of anything. I didn't see any stick structures. I didn't feel anything weird. Maybe I was in the wrong place, because when you look around, driving in there, there's woods everywhere. There's multiple big hills. They're not called mountains because they're just, I guess they're not big enough to be mountains, but they're big hills. And they're all over the place. So and the water sources there are plentiful. There's so much to eat. There's vegetation. There's deer. There's fruits, wild blueberries and raspberries and whatnot, blackberries. So you'd think it was the perfect place, fishing in the brook. But I didn't hear, feel, or see anything. So I'm gonna have to go back anyway to meet with the people who supposedly saw the female just over a month ago now. They saw this female Sasquatch watching them play with their dog, tossing sticks to it in the brook. It was hiding in the trees, made some noise a couple times, and then finally it leaned out and they caught it, and it made eye contact with them. And when it made eye contact with them, it stood completely still. It froze. That's what they said. It froze. They've never seen anything move, remain that still for that long. And They also said that they didn't know what they were looking at. They just called it a giant hairy woman that was on two legs. They thought, like a lot of people thought, maybe it has something to do with, you know, gorillas or primates or something, but they just didn't know. So, you know, same thing. They were searching for answers, and they ended up on that same group. And I had scrolled through to find some stuff and found that too. And so we spoke, and I'm going to meet with them. Not this weekend, I don't think. I think maybe next weekend. I got to check the calendar. I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's, you know, maybe when he shows me the area, that may change things. I maybe have been in the wrong area. But it's a great park either way. Devil's Hopyard's got a lot of history to it. They say there was they call it Devil's Hopyard because there was a lot of satanic rituals there. And still to this day, I suppose, from what people say. And the waterfall, when the water's not rushing, it looks like a giant throne. And they used to say that was Satan's throne. Then there's this cave on the property that they call the Devil's Oven. So, you know, I don't know. Weird stuff went on. There, years ago, there was a report of two guys. They were very experienced hikers, and they climbers, like they could, you know, scale rock walls and all kind of crazy stuff. So they excuse me, they had been there since late afternoon, and it was around this time of the year. So obviously it got darker out. They didn't really pay attention to what time it was. By the time they did, it was dark, and on the way back to the car, I guess something was standing on a wooden fence, like on the top of it, but like crouched down. I don't know. Hard to explain the positioning, but it's apparently it chased them, and it was this big deal. But there's a lot of stuff that's going on there apparently. But they got chased out. They ended up at a priest's house, or one of them was a priest at one time. I forget exactly, but that's just one of the tales. So yeah. So that's that. What else did I want to get to here before I go? Because I'm going to go soon. I'm exhausted. Let me look at the calendar. Sorry. Cassie would hit me right now. I'm just kidding, Cash. No, you wouldn't. What is this, November? Let's see. Yeah, so the 27th, Sisters of the Moon. The 30th, Alexander Petikoff, and then I have some other people that I'm trying to get a hold of to get booked for the coming weeks and days. It's looking likely that I will get a few of them booked for after Thanksgiving, pretty close to after Thanksgiving. I didn't want to try to do anything this week as far as interviews go because, you know, it's a holiday week. People just kind of want to chill. So I didn't want to be the guy who was pushing them for it. I figured if I wanted to or needed to, I could just hop on and do a quick live or whatever for an hour and then hop off. No biggie. Also, that was the other thing. Lemon cherry cheesecake. Yeah, I'll take it. You got some? Can you get it here quick? Like now, like yesterday. No, you know what I want? I want that blueberry pretzel. Close to you, 434. 434. What's 434? It's so like where I'm at, I live in Groton. It's I believe it's in Salem or Haddam. I don't remember which town. It's one of those towns right there. Gillette's Castle is right not too far from there, which is a really cool old castle. If you're ever in the area, I suggest you check that out. It's a really neat place. 434, I don't know. I just know that it's, if you go through the Four Corners and the roundabout in Salem, you just follow it around and take the 1, 2, 3, the third exit off the roundabout, follow that road, just keep following it until you see the sign for Devil's Hopyard. It's a cool place. What I was going to say, though, I tried to upload the video, but it's terrible anyway. Hopyard Road. I don't know that it's on Hopyard Road, though. Maybe, but I don't know. I cannot confirm or deny that right now. I'd have to take a look. Thought I was on something else. But so last night I was outside feeding the cat down the road. It was dark out. I was late. I usually feed her earlier, but I was late. I forget why. I don't know. I was doing stuff, whatever. And, you know, it was really clear outside. So I like looking up at the sky. The moon was really neat. It was the real thin, just outer edge where, you know, looks like that smiley face kind of, but tilted on the side. And it looked so neat. It was very clear. So I was looking at that, and then I was looking around at the sky, and I could see, you know, Jupiter pretty well. And then I was looking at Orion's belt and Orion and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I thought what at first I thought was a plane. But then I saw two planes, and I'm looking at this other thing, and I'm going, you know, this ain't a plane. It doesn't add up. Number one, I couldn't hear it. Number two, it had no marker lights, so there's nothing on it that blinked, right? It was one single light, and it was white. And when I zoomed in, it made it, I don't know, it's so hard to explain because all I had was my phone, and it just doesn't zoom far enough for where this thing was in the air. But the movements didn't move fast. It like glided along, but intelligently, because it would go around things and like, I don't know. I've never had I haven't had a UFO experience in a long, long time. And this was not close. It was way up in the sky. It was visible, obviously, to my naked eye. But it was just weird, man. It was just weird. This didn't seem like a plane or a helicopter. Or, I don't know. I'm going to try to get it on this computer. It just keeps telling me the file's too big. So I don't know what I can do about that, but I'll figure something out. Let's see. I use pickle juice instead of straight vinegar. So good. For what? Sorry. Alex Petikoff would be a good. Sorry. I think I got acid indigestion all of a sudden. Be a good guest. Buddy of mine, done a couple investigations with him at Small Town Monsters Channel in New Hampshire. Yeah, he's a wonderful dude. We've talked a few times. We were on Doug Haycheck's show together, and he did a wonderful job on that show, as he does on every show. The guy's just so damn smart. It's crazy. Convertio for file size change to another format, bro. Okay, I'll check it out. Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't email it to myself. It's crappy anyway. Like I said, I used the phone, didn't film it, didn't zoom in far enough, but you could see it. And it just moved very weird, man. Very weird. Like it wasn't zipping across the sky. It was really nonchalantly going very slow. And then it would like kind of turn and go around something, like it was coming back, and then it would go out again. It was just weird, man. It was just weird. I'm not claiming that it was a UFO. I'm just saying it didn't look like a plane, especially when I filmed two planes right afterwards. And, you can hear me say, look, this is a plane, this is a plane. Tell me what the difference is. And the difference is there's multiple lights on planes, and they have to have flashing lights. This is one light that's illuminated from the inside, maybe. I don't know. And then there's no flashing anything. There's no markers of any kind, no nothing. It's just strange. It was just weird. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill. I have no idea if it's anything to, to freak out about, but it was there and it was strange. What is a silver ball, Kyle? Silver ball. What is a silver ball? I'm confused. I don't know what you mean. Fresh. For deviled eggs, pickle juice instead of straight vinegar for deviled eggs. Oh, who's making deviled eggs? What did I miss? I want some deviled eggs. We were talking about dessert a little earlier. Thanks, Nielsie. Sorry, man, my chest is hurting right now from this. Damn, I forgot to take my pill today. Have a great night, Nielsie. Was it ball shaped? Yeah, it was ball shaped. I mean, it was so far away, it was hard to see, but it looked perfectly round. That's what it looked like, perfectly round. Could have been silver. It just looked like it was illuminated white, but it could have been silver. I don't know. Why? What's with the silver ball? Is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? Silver balls. Silver balls. It's E.T. time in the city. I seen a ball of silver, slightly bluish, under two airplanes the other day. Okay, wow. That's a little nerve-wracking underneath two airplanes. That's kind of scary. Ow. Hey, Ridge Runner, what's going on? Thanks for being here, man. Like chunks, I saw. Yeah. Who you guys talking about deviled eggs? Who's making the pretzels thing for me? The blueberry pretzel thing. That's all I care about. That's exactly what it did. Fresh, super slow, hit the clouds and was gone. And then there was another one. There was a second one on the opposite side of the sky, and it did the same thing. The same thing. I thought at first it was the same one, but when I thought about it, I'm like, no way, because this one went west, disappeared into those clouds, and now this other one is fully in the east, the complete opposite way. Yeah, I don't know. Weird. It was weird. Yep. Parallel universe. Possible. Yeah. Anything's possible now. I don't, I believe anything is. So who the hell knows? These guys are telling me they're seeing things out my window. Like, I don't want to know that shit. I'm still trying to catch that poor little kitten that keeps coming. He's getting to be a little more curious of me, but I think he's living in a stone wall down there. It's so crazy. There's like a little tiny area in between some of the stones on the bottom that's about this big around, and you can get in between those stones, and then it looks like there's like a tunnel system through the wall where the spaces are between the stones. So this little guy's coming in and out of there, or he's sleeping in there. I don't know, but he allowed me to get closer to him today and put his food down without him running away. So that's another thing I'm trying to get done, and trying to get my cat out to stop peeing on my couch. Yep, that happened. It's because of the puppy. I was worried about it, but what are you going to do? So trying everything we can to get him to not do it and to feel better. I'm giving him extra love and every chance I get. Trying to reassure him all the time, like, don't worry, you're not going nowhere. You're still my favorite, and you always will be. But he's going to have to go to the vet because he may have a UTI. Just the stress of having a new puppy in the house is enough to cause a cat to get a UTI. So he's going to have to go to the vet, which is whatever. At this rate, I may as well move into a vet because I've been to the emergency vet twice with Maverick. Whatever. Maverick's got to go back too because when he went to the emergency vet, which I don't know if you guys knew about this past weekend, I thought he was going to die. For sure, I thought he was going to die. Foaming at the mouth. Couldn't hold his head up. Super lethargic to the point where he was nodding off. Whimpering really loudly. It was bad. And then our vet was closed, so we had to rush him 45 minutes away to another vet. Anyway, but he went there. They told us that the rescue that we adopted him from lied to us that he had worms, and they didn't tell us that. And they gave him his dose of dewormer. She said the day before we picked him up, the day that we picked him up, which would be the next night, after he got his dose, right after he got his first dose of the dewormer, was the day before. So yeah, the next night we went and picked him up, and on the way home he threw up, and it was pink. And I was like, pink? That's weird. And so I called her and asked, like, did he just get his stuff today? And she said, no, it was the day before, which in my mind I'm going, okay, that's BS, because if he got his dewormer the day before, he would have digested all of it. And he wouldn't be throwing up pink. And she kept trying to tell me he got it the day before, which I think is total crap. So if he threw it up, then the first dose didn't work at all. Then she didn't tell us about the worms, but anyway, we couldn't get the paperwork from her to go get his second doses of his vaccines done because she wouldn't answer my text for a month and a half. And so when his next doses were due, we still didn't have the paperwork to give to the vet so that they could see what he had done already. And so we missed that because of them too. Now he's the emergency vet because he's got really bad worm. Well, not now, but he was really bad worms. Plus, I think maybe ate something bad. I'm sure he did. And just a terrible, terrible, terrible day. And I forget why the hell I was talking about that. But anyway, the other kitty is where is Ollie? He was just down here a little while ago before I went live, and he was getting all kinds of attention. So. Ground up pumpkin seed and mix it with peanut butter. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll try that. They gave us the medicine. Plus, he's got to go back for the second of the things, the vaccines and stuff in 3 weeks, and that's when Otis is going to go to see if he's got a urinary tract infection. Hopefully, it's not. Yeah, I don't know if I want to give peanut butter away for to treat something. You're supposed to eat peanut butter because you like it, because peanut butter is really good. So to give it for medicine just makes me upset. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. If it helped, I'd give it to him in a heartbeat. So we talked about the movie, we talked about the family, we talked about the second set of people who saw a female maybe at Devil's Hopyard. Covered everything that I needed to cover tonight. And, didn't know I was going to do this, but like every other time, I'm glad I did. But I need to rest. I'm so overtired, and my sleep schedule has been stupid. The other night, he was awake at 2 a.m. I went to bed at 12:30. He woke up at 2, and that meant I was awake from 2 on, and then went to Devil's Hopyard that day and tried to just push through. Didn't get much sleep that night. yeah, it's just a mess. And I know I look like it. We do need a food chat, though. We do. What did everybody have for dinner tonight? Let me know. Before this is all done, let's do the food. Let's do the food poll. What did everybody have for dinner tonight? Tell me in the chat. What'd you have for dinner? I'll tell you what I had. Pretty shitty. Well, it's just not good for you. It tastes incredible, but it's not good for you. I had Taco Bell. And the Mexican pizza's back, and that excites me very much. I love the Mexican pizza, so I got one. I suggest you never get a crunchy taco from Taco Bell, because by the time you eat it, if you have to drive home at all, it's no longer crunchy on the bottom. It is completely sogged right through just the bottom, and it'll fall apart on you. So don't do that. Oh, Spirit, I'm sorry about that. Feel better. Definitely feel better. Yeah, that sucks. Jambalaya with sausage and deer. Oof, that sounds pretty good. What kind of sausage, though? That's the question. Bacon too. With smoked turkey breast and cheese. That sounds good, too. Chicken and dumpling. Weren't you just eating chicken and dumpling the other night, too, Lynn? Don't get me wrong. Sounds wonderful. I want the blueberry pretzel thing. I totally get it, Old Spirit. Totally get it. I'm with you. I need it too, and I'm going to get it. I'm about to hop off now and go get it. So I may hop on again after Thanksgiving, or maybe before, I'll do a little short video saying Happy Thanksgiving and all that stuff. Maybe we can do a little, what do you think for poll? Maybe not. Who knows? Then I'll hop back on after Thanksgiving to give you a rundown of some other stuff that I'm trying to work on, possibly a second channel where I am not painted into a corner. And I don't say that in a bad way, because I love this topic, but I want to be able to talk about other things, anything, and not have it alienate people who are just here for like the super hardcore Bigfoot stuff, or cryptid stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that next channel, I need a haircut so bad. So the other channel I think I'm thinking of doing would be just a mishmash of a lot of things. And I think I'm going to call it the Madman's Menagerie. What do you think of that name? I kind of dig it. It fits. So yeah, I'm thinking about that and a bunch of other stuff. We'll talk about that though in the next time. For now, thank you. Please go watch that film on the 24th. It's so worth it. It was really good. It was one of the better documentaries I've ever seen. I think it was their best documentary that they made yet. The Beast of Whitehall was another really good one, but this one I think exceeds it by leaps and bounds so far from what I've seen. So definitely go check it out. Thank you all for stopping by. Stay tuned for updates on what's going on with that family. I will fill you in after I go over there and keep everybody up to date. We'll talk before Thanksgiving, but if you don't get to see me or watch me before Thanksgiving, then I just wanted to say Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family and to your loved ones. I hope you enjoy the day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Have a wonderful night, and I will catch you on the flip side. All right. Piece of chicken grease. Holler at your boy. Good night, guys.